Welcome to the special broadcast on the parliamentary elections on DD India, the great Indian election. This is the ultimate election year, as globally more voters than ever in the history will head to the polls. On the show tonight, we take a look at why Madhya Pradesh matters in the 2024 elections. Well, Hindustan ka dil dekho, a catchphrase of the Madhya Pradesh tourism, is enough to describe the state. Due to its geographical location, it's fondly called as the heart of India. India's largest tribal groups come from the state, and there is a Jungle Book connection with the heart of India. Let us take a look at why Madhya Pradesh matters as India decides in 2024.
Located in the central India, Madhya Pradesh is also referred to as India's heart. The land that Rudyard Kipling was inspired by for his Jungle Book is home to magnificent mountain ranges, meandering rivers and extensive forests, including 25 sanctuaries, 10 national parks and 6 tiger reserves. It holds almost 20% of India's tiger population and houses 3 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, including the ancient Khajuraho temples and millennia-old Buddhist monuments at Sanchi and Paleolithic cave paintings at Bhimbetka. But similar to its cultural and scenic diversities, the state also has vibrant political character. In the year 2000, Madhya Pradesh was bifurcated into 2 states and Chhattisgarh was carved out of it. With an area of over 300,000 square kilometers, Madhya Pradesh is the second largest state in India and has 29 Lok Sabha or parliamentary seats. The state has a population of over 72.7 million with over 56 million voters. This includes over 28 million males and over 27.38 million female voters. The state also has 1,237 voters from the third gender. As per the 2024 general election schedule of the Election Commission of India, polling in Madhya Pradesh is taking place in 4 phases from April 19. In the 2023 State Assembly elections, the voters of Madhya Pradesh gave its mandate to Bharatiya Janata Party, which is currently governing the state. It won 163, which is 2/3 of the total 230 assembly seats in the state. Campaigns by Prime Minister Narendra Modi played a significant role in the party's performance in the state elections. Though the political issues of the state are complex, the election battles are usually between the BJP and the Indian National Congress, with no significant third player in the fray. Other parties like the Bahujan Samaj Party and Samajwadi Party also participate in the elections. In the general elections of 2019, the Bharatiya Janata Party won 28 seats out of 29 seats and the Congress won only 1 seat. As the summer sets in central India, beginning April, the political heat is also soaring in Madhya Pradesh amid the political battle for the 29 parliamentary seats in the general elections of 2024. Sujata Lochab for DD India.
Well, Madhya Pradesh is the heart of India, and Madhya Pradesh goes to polls in 4 phases. Before the hot summer sets in, Madhya Pradesh's EVM boxes would be sealed. Is that a big plus, especially considering that we've seen the assembly elections in November? 5 months later, we once again have the Lok Sabha elections. A quick look at Madhya Pradesh. This is how Madhya Pradesh would vote in phases. This is the first phase, the 6 seats here, followed by the second phase that's again got 6 seats. The third and the fourth is where things get interesting for Madhya Pradesh. We'll have to wait and watch how that particular phases pan out. Phase 1, 19th of April, you've got 6 seats. Phase 2, 26th, again 6 seats. The third 8 seats on the 7th of May. The final one, the 13th of May, you've got 9 seats in Madhya Pradesh. A quick look at the Madhya Pradesh Lok Sabha results. 2014, you had 27 seats going for the BJP. Congress managing to win 2. This has changed 5 years later. 2019, BJP consolidating, picking up one more seat in Madhya Pradesh, winning 28. Congress losing ground. Almost half of the seats it won in 2014, back to one seat of Chhindwara. The Lok Sabha elections, there has been a big jump, especially when it comes to voting percentage in Madhya Pradesh. From 61, there is a jump to 71% in 2019, which is way above the national average of 67% in 2019. Assembly elections 2018, BJP 109, Congress 114. Kamal Nath managed to put together a government. It lasted for a while, but then they lost grounds. There was a switchover by few Congress MLAs and the BJP was back in power. The BJP once again consolidating in 2023, winning a mammoth majority, 163 seats to 66 for the Congress. Congress back in double digits in 2023. Assembly elections, voting percentage again much higher than the Lok Sabha elections, but above 70% of voting that you see in Madhya Pradesh, even for assembly elections in 2023. Look at the candidates that are in the fray. Siddhi, you've got a candidate that's been replaced. Dr. Rajesh Mishra comes into the election fray. You've got Indrajit Kumar from the Congress. A keen contest that you can see in this particular constituency. Remember, this particular assembly segments, this is where the BJP made a clean sweep, especially in Siddhi and the seat that follows after this. The next seat in Madhya Pradesh, Shahdaul, again BJP clean sweeping. One assembly constituency here going to the Congress. Himadri Singh from the BJP taking on Marco Pundelal Singh from the Congress. Remember, Madhya Pradesh, it's always a bipolar contest between two parties, the BJP and the Congress, very much on the similar lines. You could see another battle here. Dinesh Yadav from the Congress taking on Ashish Dubey from the BJP. A new phase being introduced by the BJP. That BJP has changed almost many faces in Madhya Pradesh, one of the states where they made wholesome changes when it comes to candidates for the 2024 elections. Jabalpur, one of the seats where we've seen the BJP making a change. Mandla, you've got Fagan Singh Kulshesh, once again a union minister getting his seat back there. Two-time winning MP there once again in the election fray from Mandla. The Congress has Omkar Singh Markam there, and many expect this particular seat. Remember, this is from where, if you see the last two seats, along with Mandla, the last two seats that go to poll in the first phase, this is where Congress managed to retain, at least a lion's share of their seats. Balaghat, again, 6 assembly constituencies here. BJP managed to win 2, Congress managed to win 4. So keen contest again expected here between Samrat Singh and Bharti Pardi here for this seat. A last seat, Nakul Kamal Nath there, Kamal Nath's son in the election fray, managed to win this seat. This is that 7 assembly constituency that the Congress managed to win, handsomely, but a lot of water has passed after that assembly elections in 2023. There has been a large scale exodus when it comes to Congress local leaders in Chhindwara. Will that have a lasting effect, especially for the Congress in this particular election? That's something that we're going to analyze, we're going to look at. What are the plus things that work for the BJP time and again in Madhya Pradesh? We're going to do all that talking, but before that, the voter has many rights. One or many choices that he has in the elections. One choice is nota. What is nota? It means all the candidates in the election fray, you don't like any of them, you have an option of pressing the nota button. Let's find out more about what nota or how nota helps you in the election process.
India is the largest democracy in the world, and in the true sense of democracy, voter is the king. With India being a multi-party system, the choices before a voter range from the representatives of various political parties and independents. But if none appeals, he or she can register that choice too, the option of none of the above or nota. In India, if a voter does not support any of the candidates contesting in a particular election, he or she has the option to select nota or none of the above as a measure of registering their disapproval of all the contestants. Nota was used for the first time in the 2013 Assembly elections in 5 Indian states: Chhattisgarh, Mizoram, Rajasthan, Delhi and Madhya Pradesh, and later in the 2014 general elections. The Supreme Court of India reasoned that the Nota option would allow voters to express their discontent with the political parties and the candidates they put up, and thus help cleanse the political system. But it's a method by which the voter can register his or her disapproval only. The option has no real electoral value. Even if the maximum number of votes cast is for Nota, the candidate getting the most of the remaining votes would be declared the winner. Around the world as well, countries like Colombia, Ukraine, Brazil, Bangladesh, Finland, Spain, Sweden, Chile, France, Belgium and Greece allow their voters to cast Nota votes. The United States also allows it in a few cases, and the state of Texas in the US permits the provision since 1975. The Nota option may not hold much electoral value, however, it represents a section of electorate dissatisfied enough to prefer no candidate over the ones contesting. Despite its capacity to alter election results, Nota's overall vote share has seen a decline. From 1.41% in the 2018 polls to 0.97% in the recent elections, the drop indicates a shift towards more decisive voting or voter education about Nota's implications. Antara Sinha for DD India.
Well, the 3 big questions that we're looking for answers from Madhya Pradesh. The first, will the bipolar contest see the NDA consolidate? Second, can the opposition prevent another clean sweep in the Hindi heartland? Finally, will 2024 see Modi's guarantee versus caste census as the issues before the people? Well, 2 eminent guests joining us this evening to take the deliberations forward on how Madhya Pradesh or why Madhya Pradesh matters. Joining us this evening in the studios, we've got Professor Anshu Joshi, political analyst, joining us. We've got Ranjan Srivastav, senior journalist, joining us from Bhopal. Let me first come to Professor Anshu Joshi here in the studios. You know, the BJP's development work, that's been time and again spoken about, the Prime Minister's guarantee. Is that clicking, especially with the people of Madhya Pradesh, as India decides?
Definitely, Anil, when you look at the voting percentage and the pattern in past few years in Madhya Pradesh, especially for Lok Sabha elections, you see that how people of Madhya Pradesh have very smartly chosen developmental politics, and they have time and again shown their full trust in the Honorable Prime Minister's developmental politics.
Okay.
So when you closely take a look of Madhya Pradesh, earlier when you see in 1956 when Madhya Pradesh was formed, it was formed of 5 different provinces. So there was central province, there was Madhya Bharat that had Gwalior and Indore, then it had state of Bhopal, and then it had Baghelkhand and Bundelkhand and Sironch, which was a district of Kota. Kota is in Rajasthan. So it touches its borders with Rajasthan and Maharashtra, and now Chhattisgarh also. Earlier it was a part of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh definitely. So you see it's a very diversified state with diversified culture, diversified economy. But Modi ji emerged, Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji emerged as the leaders of masses, I would see, in all these years, because agriculture remains the top number 1 sector in Madhya Pradesh, and that is what people have chosen over all these years in Madhya Pradesh.
Okay. Mr. Srivastav, how does one see this particular election play out? Can the opposition, that's been trying, especially since it's a bipolar contest that you see in the state of Madhya Pradesh this time around, what's the core issue that the opposition goes to the people with to win their trust?
Mr. Anil, see, very significant election, a very interesting scenario. I mean, if you see, right from 1989, BJP came into being in 1980, and whenever it comes to Lok Sabha, BJP is having upper hand constantly, except 1991. So the situation is that the Congress has been reduced to just 1 seat. So it's question of existence. And you rightly said there is bipolar politics here. No third party which is having must say here in the election scenario. So opposition is trying to harp on the unemployment, and price rise, corruption be the core issue.
Okay.
So it has to be seen. They are trying to increase the tally. They reduced to one seat, Chhindwara, and that victory was with very low margin,
Okay.
more than 30,000 votes.
Okay, Professor Joshi, there has been a change of leadership there in the opposition camp. Do you see that, making any kind of difference, post that debacle that you had in the assembly elections? Do you see any change that could work for the opposition in particular in this election?
I think now the baton is in the hands of Mr. Jeetu Patwari from Congress in Madhya Pradesh. Had it been the assembly elections, I would have said, Anil, my answer would have different. That yes, now there could be some difference because assembly elections, it was clearly shown to Congress that people of Madhya Pradesh had rejected Kamal Nath. Very clearly, it was visible. And then Congress had to change the leadership. But now because it's Lok Sabha elections and that is what we see people from Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh doing very smartly. In Rajasthan, there was a very popular slogan people had given that Modi tujhse bair nahi, Rani teri khair nahi. Same thing applies to the politics of Madhya Pradesh. So when it comes to Lok Sabha elections, last time also people had chosen the leadership of Modi ji and had given 28 out of 29 seats to Bharatiya Janata Party. And this time also there is a clean wave that I can see because in assembly elections also since 1998, Anil, BJP is continuously winning and only in 2000 we could see the change in the leadership. But Kamal Nath could not, manage that.
Okay.
And BJP again took the baton from his hands of Madhya Pradesh. So when it comes to Lok Sabha elections, people of Madhya Pradesh clearly seem to be choosing the developmental politics because a lot has changed in past couple of years in Madhya Pradesh when you look at the development of the state.
Okay. Mr. Srivastava, when one sees, especially the way campaigning has been managed by Kamal Nath for his son Nakul Nath, do you get the sense that there is a, Mr. Kamal Nath is showing signs of desperation, especially when it comes to, retaining his fortress this time around after, that exodus that we've seen, especially when it comes to many Congress leaving Congress and moving elsewhere?
Yeah, it's first time when we can see this exodus. You see the situation over there, right from first election, 1951, Congress, irrespective of Kamal Nath, he has represented the seat 9 times in Lok Sabha. Now he's there. If you see the entire elections, right from 1951, Congress has never lost this seat except 1984 when they were bipolar. And Kamal Nath lost to Mr. Sundarlal Patwa, BJP. So it has been forte of Congress all along. But still, that's why BJP is trying to make inroads in the Congress direction. And what this exodus we are seeing first time, the ecosystem created by Mr. Kamal Nath, people support him. So Congress is trying to win away. Take the hardcore supporters out from his camp, and it has succeeded to some extent. Chief Minister has visited to the place several times. People are still coming to the BJP fold. So BJP is trying to manage anyhow to win the Chhindwara. That last time you see the victory margin was reduced to 32,000 almost. So almost Congress lost the poll, Chhindwara. So that's why your question was right. He is trying to retain the forte. He is trying to manage his base anyhow. That's why he is confined to Chhindwara right now.
Okay. Professor Joshi, now that you see, this election battle across 4 phases in Madhya Pradesh,
right,
do you get the sense that, the Congress does not have leadership? That's been a bigger cause of concern. You've passed the baton to Jeetu Patwari, but, the absence of leadership in the state, especially in the youth, is a cause of concern for the Congress at large.
Definitely, Anil, and the central leadership of Congress must retrospect that once a state that was a hub of Congress with bigwigs like Shukla brothers, Arjun Singh, Motilal Vora, Digvijay Singh, Madhav Sindhya and so on. Of course, Madhya Pradesh has given bigwigs to Bharatiya Janata Party also,
True.
Rajmata Vijayaraje Sindhya and Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Sumitra Mahajan and so on. What has happened in past few years, in the era of 80s, Congress used to get a turnout of 50% plus and BJP used to get like 40-41%. In the era of 90s, it got, changed and BJP started getting 50% plus and Congress got limited to 40% plus turnout of votes. In 2019 Lok Sabha elections, BJP got whooping 61.2% turnout of votes and Congress got limited to only 35%. So now it's high time, after losing assembly elections so badly, now Congress, especially the central leadership of Congress, must retrospect that where is it losing? Is it about picking up wrong agenda at the national level, wherein it is like picking up the things that are related to national security and integrity of the nation, or it is something related to local politics of Madhya Pradesh, wherein it is not grooming the leaders from Madhya Pradesh itself?
Okay, Mr. Srivastav, now when you see this particular election and the list, the way it was announced, the first list of 195 candidates the BJP announced, 24 seats from Madhya Pradesh were announced in the first list. Does that somewhere give you the sense that, BJP feels assured that the people of Madhya Pradesh are very much, or rather trust the BJP when it comes to the 2024 elections?
Yeah. If you see like Professor Joshi was saying, if you see the turnout of voters, it's the first time, 2019, as you said in your text, it touched 71%. First time after 1989, I can see. It was never beyond 62%. And it was Modi wave in 2019. And if you see the result, Anilji, there were 3 to 4 candidates whose victory margin was more than 5 lakhs.
Okay.
And there were, except 3 candidates, the margin was more than 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh. We never saw that in Madhya Pradesh politics. So Modi wave all along, we can see. Now,
okay.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
You are saying something.
Dr. Joshi, also the politics of managing, you had Shivraj Singh Chauhan who won the assembly elections for you. Now in the election fray from Vidisha as a Lok Sabha candidate. Is poll management much better for the BJP from the center as well as the state? That's worked wonders for the NDA?
Definitely, that is a case study for now many students, or for that matter many institutions, that how BJP goes to the level of what they call Panna Pramukh.
True.
Wherein they manage booth level politics, booth level voting, and their leaders ensure that people from the grassroots level are like added to the level of central leadership, wherein they can share their ideas and they can manage the things, and the central leadership is available, approachable to grassroots level people. So that is how BJP has been efficiently managing not only the politics but the voters also. And at the same time, Anil, another thing is about better social media management. And there is one more point which is related to picking up the agenda that people want to be picked up.
Well, picking up the agenda that the people want. Remember, this was that 2.0 of the Rahul Gandhi phase, the Bharat Jodo Yatra. He's passed through Madhya Pradesh. Will that have a effect, especially on the voters, or was there a different issue that Rahul Gandhi was targeting on? We'll leave that for another day. Well, the Great Indian Election is your one-stop show on weekdays on all that matters in Indian elections 2024. What could be the state that could form a part of our deep dive on Tuesday night? India's Hindi heartland, Chhattisgarh, gets ready for another showdown as battle lines get redrawn. The impressive win in the assembly election has amplified the challenge for the opposition. Watch why Chhattisgarh matters on the Great Indian Election, Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. IST, only on DD India. India's Hindi heartland, how elections or the election commission, steps taken by the election commission to attract more and more voters to come and vote. Today, we are heading down south. We've got a team of scuba divers there in India's Chennai. Take a look as they enact the voting process 60 feet underwater. Well, really running short of time. Thank you both guests for joining us this evening as we dissected Madhya Pradesh. It is a pleasure having you both, Anshul Joshi in the studios and Mr. Srivastav there joining us all the way from Madhya Pradesh. Well, that's all we have time for from the entire team of DD India from New Delhi. Thanks for watching. Do reach us on Facebook, Instagram and also on X. Good night. Stay safe. Take care. Have a safe and wonderful evening ahead.
Do you know there's an investor protection fund for investors, IPF, but if your trade isn't executed on the exchange or if it's some guaranteed return scheme, then even IPF will not be able to help you.
And what if your broker becomes a defaulter? Then,
In that case, IPF can provide you with compensation.
where did you learn this?
NSE's website.
सोच कर, समझ कर, इन्वेस्ट कर।
Delivery boy has picked your order.
We know you are hungry. The message notification said it would take 30 minutes.
We can't just rely on a message.
Didn't you sell some shares yesterday?
Yes. So,
So did you check them?
I got a message.
You can't just rely on one message. If you make any transactions in the stock market, cross-check the SMS or email you received from the stock exchange with your Demat account as well as bank statement.
Beta, when one's hungry, the brain doesn't function properly.
सोच कर, समझ कर, इन्वेस्ट कर।
Do you know there's an investor protection fund for investors, IPF, but if your trade isn't executed on the exchange or if it's some guaranteed return scheme, then even IPF will not be able to help you.
And what if your broker becomes a defaulter? Then,
In that case, IPF can provide you with compensation.
where did you learn this?
NSE's website.
सोच कर, समझ कर, इन्वेस्ट कर।
Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. This is News Hour. I'm Mark Lynn. Namaskar. Coming up in the next hour. World leaders urge restraint as dust settles from Iran's largely failed attempt to attack Israel. Foreign ministers from several countries call their counterparts in Israel and Iran, ask to de-escalate tension. Prime Minister Narendra Modi gives an interview to India's private news agency and asks the electorate to compare his 1 decade of development with 6 decades of opposition rule. Campaigning for the first phase of India's general election gains momentum with each passing day, hour, minute. The poll day is the 19th of April for 102 seats.